Have you ever wondered what unfolds when you step back, when your presence fades from her world? It's a path few discuss, but one many quietly experience, a process of gradual recognition, where each moment without you reveals what was once taken for granted. Today, we'll unravel the stages of this journey step by step, exploring how her understanding shifts and deepens over time. But this isn't just her journey. In the gaps left behind, in the silence, you find your own growth and resilience. Each pause, each absence strengthens your core, drawing you closer to the principles of Stoicism, calm amidst adversity, resilience in solitude, and a wisdom that transforms absence into strength. So, if you're curious about the impact of stepping back and the profound effects it has on both you and her, this exploration is for you. Join us as we delve into this journey from both perspectives, revealing how the power of your absence can speak louder than any words. First, feeling the shock of silence. It starts with the shock of silence. Imagine she expected you to reach out, to reconnect, maybe even to make amends. Instead, she's met with a quiet that speaks volumes. At first, she's confused, even frustrated. She might check her phone, replay past conversations. Wonder if this is some kind of mind game. But as time passes, she begins to sense that this isn't a game, it's a message. In this silence, she starts to feel what's missing, your steady presence that once filled the void. In this space, Stoic philosophy takes center stage. Stoicism teaches that strength often appears, not in grand gestures or dramatic reactions, but in the calm of restraint and self-control. By staying silent, you're embodying this strength, strength you may never have noticed in you before. This silence speaks of self-worth and emotional calm, a strength reserved for those who truly value themselves. You're not swayed by her actions or pressured by her expectations. Instead, you stand firm, calm, and unshaken. And as time goes on, she begins to feel your absence more deeply. The reality of losing you becomes undeniable, hitting with a force she hadn't expected suddenly. Every moment she took for granted, every reliable presence you offered is gone. Each day, your silence grows louder, highlighting the void you've left behind. And with it, an awareness dawns. Losing you wasn't just a momentary event, but the loss of something irreplaceable. How will you respond? Will you ease her discomfort? The Stoic approach reminds us to stand firm, knowing our actions stem from our own peace, not another's emotions. This doesn't mean closing yourself off, rather. If keeping your self-respect means not chasing approval or validation, you remain open to conversation when the timing feels right. But you don't compromise your worth along the way. For instance, if she reaches out, you might respond calmly, acknowledging her message without any emotional pressure. A simple reply like, "I hope you're doing well. I've been focusing on my own growth lately," says a lot. It conveys that while you appreciate her, you also respect yourself enough to hold steady and move forward. You show her that you've taken steps ahead, rooted in your own strength. Number 2, recalling moments gone. As the silence settles, she begins rewinding memories, replaying them as if scenes from an old film. Every laugh shared, every heartfelt conversation, and every moment of eye contact flood back, yet they feel different now. These memories have shifted. They're no longer just happy recollections, but carry the undeniable weight of loss. She sees these moments through a new lens, each memory now colored with an unexpected finality. In Stoic practice, there's a principle known as memento mori, a reminder that we will all die, and that everything, including people and experiences, is temporary. The Stoics taught that this awareness pushes us to cherish what we have in the present, rather than taking it for granted, but for her. That reminder came too late. The shared laughs, the support, the stability you provided, these were all fleeting. She didn't realize their true worth while they were within reach. Now, each memory carries a heightened awareness of your absence, a tangible void where you once stood. Reliving these moments, she's flooded with regret. Why hadn't she recognized the quiet strength and stability you brought? Why did she ignore the patience you demonstrated, your calm in the face of hardships, and the unwavering support you provided? Each memory is now a lesson in missed opportunities and unacknowledged qualities. She realized now that what she had with you, a blend of patience, understanding, and emotional strength, is rare, a gift only found in those who deeply respect themselves. So how do you respond to her newfound awareness? Stoicism reminds us to focus on what we can control: our growth, actions, and mindset. There's no need to hold on to bitterness or resentment. Instead, let this be a moment of reflection for you as well, by honoring the lessons of the past. You can carry them into a future that aligns with your own sense of self-worth and value, for instance. Rather than clinging to the past or waiting for her to realize what she lost, you can focus on ways to cultivate the person you're becoming, whether that's through personal growth, learning a new skill, or staying true to your principles. You're on your own path. As you live in alignment with values that resonate deeply within you, you not only gain peace, but attract those who truly understand and appreciate you. Number 3, embracing loss. As memories drift back, she becomes fully aware of the void left by your absence. It's no longer just an abstract loss, it's tangible, undeniable. You were once a constant presence, an anchor she thought would always be there, but now there's an emptiness that seems impossible to fill. This realization isn't merely about losing a friend, but rather a piece of her life she once considered secure. The growing void only underscores the uniqueness of what's gone, and she begins to see that the calm and stability you brought to her life were the very things grounding her. In the journey of Stoicism, we recognize that all things are subject to change, and accepting impermanence is essential to a tranquil life. Her experience now serves as a testament to life's inherent unpredictability and the value of cherishing what we have while it's here. Meanwhile, with each moment she processes this loss, you continue forward. Your sense of confidence and steadiness doesn't hinge on the validation of others, but arises from a deep self-awareness and inner respect. This time has become an opportunity for growth, allowing you to tap into a quiet strength that sustains your calm, even in her absence. Number 4, a renewed respect for you. After the stages of realization and regret, she may finally begin to understand the true value you brought into her life. There's a newfound respect for you, a recognition of your calm, unwavering resolve, your patience, and your strength. She sees that you were someone who could stand steady, even as everything around you fell apart. In the Stoic journey, this symbolizes a deep understanding that our worth doesn't come from others' judgments, but from the inner qualities we build and hold dear. At this point, whether she fully grasps your value or not, what truly matters is the growth you've achieved along the way. Stoicism emphasizes control over what is within, rich self-development that stands unaffected by others' emotions or perceptions. You have become stronger, someone who remains rooted in their values, even in the face of loss or change. This journey is not only about her realization of your value, but also about your path to discovering and reaffirming your strength without needing external validation. Stay on this Stoic road, where every step not only fortifies you, but brings a clearer understanding of your true worth. Number 5, invaluable presence. As the weeks bled into months, she sensed a subtle shift within herself. Initially, there may have been an impulse to fill the void you left behind, to distract herself from the pang of absence. Yet now, your presence remains irreplaceable in her mind. Qualities such as your quiet patience, calm wisdom, and steadfastness through adversity have become treasures she only began to truly see once you were no longer there. You may not have realized it at the time, but those virtues had always been a part of you. Now, as she reflects, she understands these weren't just admirable traits, they were rare, invaluable. She begins to see that your self-respect, along with the strengths you brought into any connection, were precious assets, ones that hold worth beyond the everyday. In each moment, she remembers, you crafted a foundation of internal resilience for yourself. It speaks to a truth about self-respect. It doesn't need an outward display to be recognized. You didn't have to prove your worth through action. Simply living true to your principles was enough, your growth. as she sees it, wasn't only born of past experiences, but was a journey, a path of discovering the inherent worth you had all along. Number 6, the journey inward. As she embarked on this path, she entered a deeper journey of self-discovery, an exploration that stretched beyond the surface. Your absence created space for her, a necessary gap that allowed her to reevaluate her life, to truly see the relationships and values she held. This was her chance to assess what genuinely mattered, uncovering values she had once forgotten or perhaps dismissed. Through this process, she realized that appreciation begins within. It grows from self-acceptance and the recognition of one's own worth. This resonates with a core Stoic principle that fulfillment doesn't spring from external sources, but from a deep-seated peace within. The calmness that emerged from your absence was more than just a form of support. It became a subtle yet profound encouragement for her to stand firm and grow independently. This journey held lessons for both of you. Not only did she learn to embrace her inner strength, but you too came to understand the weight of your presence in the lives of others, a weight that often goes unseen but can leave an indelible impact, even when it isn't immediately acknowledged. Number 7, restoration and rebirth. As the days turned into months, she began to realize that healing wasn't something linear or predictable. It wasn't a simple journey from pain to peace, nor was it a process she could control by sheer willpower. Some days it felt as if she'd made no progress at all. Memories would resurface, vivid and relentless, catching her off guard and leaving an archer that lingered. Yet, with each of these setbacks, she found herself returning to the lessons you'd left behind, drawing strength she didn't know she had. Renewal she learned wasn't about returning to her old self. It was about creating a new version, one fortified by experience and resilience. In those quiet, solitary moments, she discovered that nostalgia, though tempting, was a double-edged sword. It could easily pull her into sadness, tempting her to linger on what was lost. But instead of succumbing, she taught herself to see it as a source of power, something she could harness to fuel her growth. This wasn't about denying her emotions, but about transforming them. When the memories surfaced, she welcomed them, not as reminders of what was gone, but as proof of the beauty that had shaped her and could continue to guide her forward. She began to find beauty in the smallest details of life, the things she'd overlooked in her struggle to survive: sunlight spilling across her morning coffee, the quiet rustling of leaves, the weight of a book in her hands. These weren't just trivial distractions. They became moments of profound connection, gentle reminders that life's richness existed even in the simplest things. This was where she found her true sense of renewal, in recognizing that every small joy, every fleeting moment, was an opportunity to honor the person you had been to her and the legacy you left behind. Her journey wasn't about erasing pain or avoiding memories. It was about cultivating a resilience that grew from embracing both. The past remained a part of her, but it no longer defined her limits. With each new day, she reclaimed a part of herself, not by discarding what was, but by rebuilding from it, turning each memory, each scar, into the foundation of a new life, one filled with purpose, gratitude, and a quiet but unshakable strength. Number 8, the awakening of gratitude. In the quiet aftermath of her loss, she began to shift her perspective from sorrow to gratitude. With each passing day, she found herself reflecting on the lessons you had imparted, from the depth of love to the resilience of patience and self-worth. In her mind, you were no longer just a memory. You had become an integral part of her journey. Gratitude, she realized, transcended mere sentiment. It became her anchor, a bridge that connected her to the world beyond her grief. Each morning, she would remind herself that although you were no longer physically present, the essence of what you had created together endured. But the memories you shared, the wisdom you offered, and even the pain you had experienced, these elements were woven into the fabric of her growth. In embracing gratitude, She discovered a newfound strength. It was as if your teachings were whispering to her from beyond, urging her to live fully in the moment and to cherish every lesson learned. The sorrow that once felt overwhelming began to transform, reframing her narrative. She started to understand that loss was not the end, but rather a poignant chapter in her story. As she moved forward, gratitude became her guiding light, illuminating the path ahead. Each lesson learned was a stepping stone, each memory a testament to the love that continued to shape her. She no longer feared the shadows of her past. Instead, she welcomed them, recognizing that they were vital to her evolution. With every breath, she committed to honoring your legacy. Gratitude was not simply a response to loss, but a powerful tool for living. It empowered her to engage with life fully, to seek joy even in the face of adversity. This journey was hers alone. Yet it was also a reflection of everything you had instilled in her. As she navigated her days, she found that gratitude fostered resilience. It allowed her to approach challenges with a newfound perspective, seeing obstacles as opportunities for growth rather than insurmountable barriers. The lessons learned from you became her armor, equipping her to face whatever life might throw her way. In embracing this mindset, she unlocked a deeper understanding of herself and the world around her. Gratitude became a practice, a daily ritual that transformed her outlook. She would pause to appreciate the small moments, a shared smile, a beautiful sunset, the laughter of friends, recognizing that these were the threads that wove her story together. Ultimately, gratitude forged a connection between her past and her future. It taught her that every experience, no matter how painful, contributed to the tapestry of her life. You had equipped her with the tools to navigate her emotions, to find strength in vulnerability, and to appreciate the beauty of the present. In this transformation, she realized that her journey was a tribute to you. It was a celebration of the love and wisdom you had shared. Gratitude was not merely an acknowledgement of what had been lost, it was a powerful affirmation of what could still be gained through her experiences. She learned to cultivate joy, to embrace the fleeting nature of life, and to celebrate the moments that truly mattered. As she moved forward, she carried your spirit with her, a constant reminder that love, even in its absence, remains an indelible force. Gratitude became a compass, guiding her through the complexities of life, allowing her to find peace and strength in the journey ahead with each step she took. She felt your presence, an unwavering belief in her ability to thrive, to grow, and to live fully. In the end, gratitude became more than an emotion, it was a way of life. It empowered her to honor her past while embracing her future, reminding her that even in loss, there is beauty, strength, and hope. Number 9, acceptance. As she continued her journey, one of the most profound lessons she learned was the art of acceptance. Acceptance doesn't equate to surrender, rather. It embodies the understanding that every emotion and experience carries its own significance, allowing herself to feel pain, joy. And every nuance of emotion was a vital part of her healing process. Acceptance also meant recognizing that life rarely unfolds as planned. There are moments and circumstances beyond our control. Instead of resisting these realities, she discovered the strength in integrating them into her life. She realized that true peace doesn't stem from the ability to control everything. It arises from accepting and aligning herself with the truth of her circumstances. In Stoic philosophy, acceptance is more than a passive state. It is an active engagement with reality. When she embraced this concept, the chaos around her began to transform. Instead of battling against the waves of life, she learned to navigate them. Each setback became a lesson, each hardship a teacher. By acknowledging her feelings without judgment, she cultivated a deeper resilience. Pain was no longer an adversary, was a companion on her path, providing insight and depth to her existence. Joy, in its fleeting moments, became more precious because she understood its impermanence. This duality enriched her experience, teaching her to savor the highs while standing firm through the lows. In moments of distress, she would remind herself of the Stoic principle of focusing on what is within her control. This mental shift freed her from the shackles of worry and frustration. When faced with adversity, she stopped asking, "Why is this happening to me?" Instead, she began to ask, "What can I learn from this?" This subtle but powerful shift allowed her to reclaim her power. She also discovered the importance of community in this journey of acceptance. Sharing her experiences with others who walked similar paths created a bond of understanding. Their stories echoed her own, illustrating that acceptance is a shared human experience in their collective vulnerability. They found strength and solace, reinforcing the notion that none of them were truly alone. So, acceptance, she learned, is not a destination but a continuous practice. Each day presented new challenges and emotions, demanding her attention and acceptance. Some days were easier than others, but the commitment to embrace whatever came her way was unwavering. So, she understood that it was okay to struggle with acceptance. It was part of the process. In the grand tapestry of life, acceptance wove threads of compassion and understanding. It softened the edges of her experiences, transforming the sharpness of disappointment into a gentle reminder of her humanity. She found herself becoming more patient with herself, recognizing that growth often comes wrapped in discomfort. This journey illuminated the notion that acceptance is intertwined with gratitude. By accepting her circumstances, she opened the door to appreciation. Each moment became a gift, regardless of its appearance. She began to cultivate a mindset that celebrated both the ordinary and extraordinary aspects of her life. Gratitude flourished as she acknowledged the lessons hidden within every experience. Ultimately, she learned that acceptance is a profound act of courage. It requires vulnerability and honesty, the willingness to face the truth of one's circumstances. This courage fostered a deeper connection to herself and the world around her. The more she accepted, the more she could love and be loved. As her journey unfolded, the lesson of acceptance became a cornerstone of her existence. It guided her through uncertainty and anchored her in the present moment. In a world often driven by control and resistance, she found liberation in letting go and embracing what is. In the end, acceptance was not merely a passive resignation but an active choice to engage with life authentically. Through acceptance, she discovered her true self resilient, compassionate, and open to the full spectrum of human experience. The journey of acceptance transformed her into a living embodiment of Stoic wisdom, guiding others along their paths toward resilience and understanding. Through her story, the essence of Stoicism shines brightly, reminding us all that the journey to acceptance is perhaps the most important journey of all. Number 10, embracing tomorrow, future planning. As she found her footing again, she began to envision her future with clarity and purpose, no longer anchored to the past. She shifted her gaze forward. Fueled by determination and a flicker of hope, small plans began to blossom. Each one a stepping stone toward a life reimagined, dreams of traveling to far-off places and the courage to pursue passions she once left unexplored. In this newfound perspective, she realized that the future wasn't solely about grand aspirations. It was also about the little actions we can take each day to enrich our lives. Each plan, no matter how trivial it seemed, became a vital part of her recovery journey. Through these small, intentional steps, she discovered that the art of planning for tomorrow was, in itself, a powerful tool for healing. The essence of Stoic philosophy lies in recognizing what is within our control. In planning for the future, we are actively engaged with our desires and aspirations, yet we must remain detached from the outcomes. It's this balance that transforms the act of planning from a source of anxiety into a practice of empowerment. By focusing on what we can influence, our thoughts, our actions, and our responses, we free ourselves from the burden of what is beyond our reach. She learned to embrace the journey rather than fixate solely on the destination. Each day became an opportunity to cultivate her intentions, crafting a life that resonated with her values and aspirations. In this process, she uncovered a profound truth: every small decision counts, weaving together a tapestry of purpose and direction. So as she sat down to sketch out her future, she did so with the awareness that each plan was a reflection of her deepest self. With every dream she penned, she infused her ambitions with intention, whether it was a simple weekend getaway or learning a new skill. These plans were not merely tasks on a to-do list, they were expressions of her resilience and hope. In the spirit of the Stoics, she understood that the path to a fulfilling life requires conscious effort. It's about setting intentions and taking actionable steps while remaining open to the unpredictability of life. Her plans were not rigidly fixed but adaptable, allowing for the natural ebb and flow of existence. Ultimately, the future is a canvas waiting to be painted. She found joy in the act of creation, in the power of her choices, and in the knowledge that she was shaping her destiny. With each small plan, she fortified her spirit, and in doing so, she affirmed her commitment to living fully, courageously, and authentically. In the end, the act of planning became a profound testament to her growth. It was a reminder that the journey forward is just as significant as the destination itself. Each day is a chance to align her actions with her values, to invest in her dreams, and to cultivate a future that reflects her truest self. Through this lens, the future became not a daunting unknown, but an exhilarating realm of possibility. Number 11, find support. One of the most significant lessons she learned was the importance of seeking support. It became clear that facing life's challenges alone was not only daunting but often overwhelming. There is strength to be found in reaching out, whether it be to friends, family, or even strangers. Their presence can offer solace and fortitude in times of distress. She began to engage with support groups and communities where people shared their experiences. These interactions transformed her perception of vulnerability. The conversations, the listening ears, and the shared stories became a balm for her loneliness. It dawned on her that opening up about pain and searching for assistance wasn't a mark of weakness, rather. It was an embodiment of resilience and courage. This revelation altered her approach to life. She realized that while self-reliance is essential, so too is the acknowledgement of our interdependence. We are not solitary beings. We are woven into a tapestry of connections. Each thread holds its own story, its own struggles. And when we allow ourselves to intertwine with others, we create a stronger fabric. This realization underscored the fundamental tenet of Stoicism, the recognition of our shared human experience. In her journey, she witnessed the power of collective strength. The stories she heard from others echoed her own struggles, creating a profound sense of camaraderie. It was in those moments of sharing that she felt the weight of her burdens lighten. There is something profoundly healing about speaking your truth and finding resonance in another's experience. As she participated in group discussions, she learned to listen as much as she spoke. Listening became a tool of understanding, allowing her to empathize with others' journeys. In those shared spaces, vulnerability was met with kindness. Each participant contributed their own perspective, illuminating paths she had never considered. The act of listening opened her heart and mind, inviting growth. This community support was not just about sharing burdens, it was also about celebrating victories. No matter how small, each triumph, each step forward became a collective achievement. When one person found a glimmer of hope, it ignited a spark in others. Together, they learned that resilience could be a shared endeavor. The courage to ask for help transformed her. It was no longer a signal of defeat, but a strategic move toward healing. She began to understand that Stoicism does not advocate for solitary stoicism. Instead, it encourages us to seek wisdom and strength from those around us. In the words of the Stoics, the path to virtue often involves the recognition of our shared humanity. In moments of despair, she remembered the warmth of those support groups, the laughter, the tears, and the genuine connections fostered a sense of belonging. This newfound community became a sanctuary where vulnerability was not just accepted, but celebrated. It reinforced the idea that we are stronger together, and it highlighted the Stoic belief in the power of fellowship. She discovered that her willingness to be open with others inspired them to do the same. By sharing her own story, she created a ripple effect of honesty and authenticity. The more she embraced her own experiences, the more she encouraged others to confront their challenges. This cycle of sharing and supporting became a powerful testament to the strength found in community. In the end, she realized that seeking support was a journey worth taking. It was a path paved with courage and understanding. By connecting with others, she not only found strength in her vulnerability, but also learned to uplift those around her. This was the essence of Stoicism, the ability to rise, to support, and to find solace in the shared experience of being human. Number 12, find joy in the little things. In her journey of recovery, she discovered the profound value of seeking joy in life's small moments, peaceful mornings, laughter shared with friends, and the warmth of a simple cup of tea became her sources of solace. Each day, she began to jot down what brought her happiness, uncovering a treasure trove of delight in the mundane. She came to understand that true happiness doesn't always stem from grand achievements. Often, it blossoms from the simplest experiences. These seemingly insignificant moments became the bedrock of a life filled with meaning in the pursuit of her well-being. She learned to celebrate the small victories, reminding herself that each smile and each quiet moment added up to something beautifully significant. Life, she realized, isn't about the milestones, but about embracing the everyday treasures that often go unnoticed. Each laugh, each sip of tea became a reminder of the richness that exists in the now. The journey was not just about recovery, it was about cultivating gratitude and finding beauty in the ordinary. As she embraced this philosophy, she felt a shift within herself. The small joys became powerful tools, enhancing her resilience and deepening her appreciation for life. In the midst of chaos, she learned to pause, breathe, and appreciate the quiet joy that surrounded her. This journey revealed a profound truth that happiness lies not in the extraordinary, but in the embrace of life's simple pleasures. By documenting her daily joys, she transformed her outlook, allowing herself to be present and engaged. Each entry in her journal became a celebration, a reminder that life's richness can often be found in the smallest of details. Through this lens, she came to understand that the essence of life is found in the quiet moments, the shared laughter, and the simple act of being. In this realization, she found freedom and liberation from the chase for grand achievements, allowing her to savor each day as it comes. In sharing her story, she hoped to inspire others to seek joy in the everyday. After all, the path to fulfillment is often paved with small, joyful moments that we must learn to cherish. By recognizing and appreciating these, we can cultivate a life that resonates with happiness and purpose. Ultimately, it's the small things that hold the key to a fulfilling life, reminding us that joy is not a destination but a way of being. In the art of noticing the small joys, we unlock the door to a deeper, more meaningful existence. Embracing resilience, crafting meaning in difficult times. Let us come together to forge lasting memories, share our stories, and seek connection during challenging times. Remember that even in the face of sorrow, life carries on. We have the power to choose how we live, embracing a life filled with meaning and love. Life, by its very nature, is a tapestry woven with both joy and pain. In our darkest moments, it can be easy to lose sight of the light. Yet, it is precisely in these moments that the principles of Stoicism shine brightest. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control the events that unfold in our lives, we can control our responses to them. This distinction is crucial. Imagine a time when you felt overwhelmed by life's challenges. Perhaps it was a personal loss, a career setback, or a global crisis. In those moments, we often find ourselves at the crossroads. We can either succumb to despair or rise to the occasion, drawing on our inner strength and resilience. Stoicism encourages us to choose the latter. The essence of Stoicism lies in its practicality. It is not about denying our emotions or pretending that difficulties do not exist. Rather, it is about acknowledging our feelings, processing them, and then consciously deciding how we wish to respond. This approach allows us to maintain our composure and clarity even when the world around us seems chaotic. One of the core tenets of Stoicism is the idea of amor fati, which translates to love of fate. This concept invites us to embrace our circumstances, no matter how challenging they may be. Instead of resisting or lamenting what we cannot change, we can learn to accept it. Finding meaning in our struggles by adopting this mindset, we can transform adversity into an opportunity for growth. In our shared humanity, we often find solace. When we connect with others, we create a network of support that helps us navigate life's uncertainties. Sharing our stories fosters understanding and compassion, reminding us that we are not alone in our struggles. It is through these connections that we can build a community grounded in empathy and resilience. While pain and hardship are inevitable, they do not have to define us. We possess the agency to shape our narratives, to find purpose in our experiences, and to inspire others with our journey. By choosing to live meaningfully and lovingly, we set an example for those around us. As we face the inevitable ups and downs of life, let us remember that we hold the keys to our happiness. We can choose to focus on what truly matters: the relationships we cultivate, the lessons we learn, and the love we share. These are the elements that give life its richness and depth. In conclusion, let us embark on this journey together, armed with the wisdom of Stoicism. We can face our challenges with grace and fortitude, knowing that life continues. And so can we embrace resilience, share your story, and love deeply? This is the path to a meaningful life. And it begins with a single step forward. Before you leave, don't forget to explore more about the journey of personal growth and the power of resolutionism in the videos published on the screen. Every step back is an opportunity for us to build our inner strength and live more meaningfully. Always remember, true power comes from being self-sufficient and manifesting within ourselves. If you want to continue this process, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any upcoming content. Thank you for joining us, and see you in the next video.